new mic.
Bang.
Got a second pair of headphones.
Boom.
Bought a headphone splitter so we can both hear.
Let's fucking go.
And then what else did we buy? That was it, right?
Like,
and then cables to hook it all up.
Yeah.
But so now we solved the issue.
So everything now is super crispy.
Yeah, and it's easier because the way we were doing it before is we had the field recorder, so we had to manually line up all the audio.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Josh did.
Yeah. And then we had to sync it with, the video.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at this. I mean, you can see the screen.
This is beautiful.
It's got two and they're lined up.
Yeah. And it's like, I can hear you without even fucking having to listen.
I noticed you're talking a little more soft.
Yeah. Because I'm more aware of it now. So I probably won't be screaming too loud. Or maybe it's like, we just made fucking old fashions and coffee.
Yeah.
So my brain's just like, whoa.
Brain is up and then down.
Yeah. It's like literally almost past my bedtime, bro.
Really? Should we stop?
No, let's keep going. After fucking hours, bro. It's about to get spicy. In
the lighting in here is significantly nicer at nighttime.
This is a lot softer.
Daytime is cool too, but it's so hard to control.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, it's just lights.
Yeah, it's great. I like it.
But let's chat. What we were I can't remember. So the end of the last episode, or the one we shot earlier today, we were talking about something, and it was so good. It was golden.
Yeah.
But
it was about like approaching new people.
Right. Yeah, like talking, how that's like a lost thing.
Yeah.
How just kind of like everyone puts their face in their phone.
Yeah. And it's like how to navigate. Like, it kind of started from being someone that did not like to be like very open and just like talk to anyone kind of person. Because that was me.
Yeah.
And we were saying how practice makes perfect in a sense. So once you like kind of start talking to someone, talk to another person, you make friends with that person, you can even connect different people. And it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And it's like, we were talking earlier about how, like the little things when you go to like Starbucks or your barber, like striking up conversations with people, instead of just like hanging back. Yeah. And then we were also saying how a lot of people, like this is what I always think about when I talk to people, that actually not always think about, but sometimes it's like somebody could be really craving like interaction, social interaction. It's maybe something that's not prevalent in their life. Yeah. Like they just moved to Maryland, wherever the hell we are, and they don't really have any friends, and they're working here at Starbucks, and you go up to the register and you have a 5-minute conversation with them, and they're like, oh, yeah, like people are nice. Gives them a little more confidence.
Yeah. And I feel like doing that, as the person doing that, you build confidence too. Right. So it's like you're building them and building yourself at the same time.
Yeah. So and that's what you were saying earlier.
Exactly. So why would you not want to win?
But what I mentioned was it gets harder when you're talking to girls for some weird reason.
Break that down. Let's hear it.
I don't know. It's like it's always, maybe it's just me. Maybe some people aren't like this, but I think some guys share a common theme where it's like talking to another guy. Hey, you have a nice car. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Mm-hmm. But the second like your brain says, she's attractive. Yeah. I think she might be cool. Yeah. You get nervous. Because like talking to normal girls, like I'll see girls at the grocery store and, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. What about that one girl?
Yeah, the one I see every Sunday.
Oh, man.
But like, it's weird because the second in your head you tell yourself she's attractive, you get nervous.
You don't know what to say.
You don't know what to say. Yeah. No, you don't say anything. Yeah. You just like, you don't go up to her. Yeah. It's weird.
Well, you can change that. Definitely.
Yeah. But it's easier said than done.
It was easier said than done until I started doing it. That's deep. Yeah. But no, honestly, like how I said, like we even mentioned earlier that, in an uncomfortable situation, like sometimes, well, most of the time, people want to run away from that, right? Because if something's uncomfortable, it's like, why would I want to go towards that? Right. So lately, if I find myself in a potentially uncomfortable situation, I go head first. And I go towards that to explore.
What's like the last thing that you did that? Like give an example.
So I was at the gym, obviously.
Yeah. Where else do we go?
I know, right? Duh. And I saw a client that I used to work with, and I haven't seen him in a few months. And he, I went to his graduation party like a couple years ago, and that's where I had met my ex-girlfriend. So
Right.
Ex-girlfriend, we're not together, and it was like kind of like a messy ending or whatever. And I immediately thought about her when I saw him, kind of like correlation. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh man, like I feel really uncomfortable seeing him. So that first time I saw him, I didn't say anything. And I remember I was actually on the treadmills with you when I told you
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you told me. Yep.
And then the next day rolls around, I see him, I'm like, all right, James, just go towards him.
Yeah.
So I like told him like, yo, what's up? And we just like chatted for a little bit, caught up. And you know, that person was actually kind of like going through like a little rough patch. And it was really nice to kind of connect with them, to like let them know that like everything's cool, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. And
like,
that comes
in their
back to
life.
what I said earlier is like
Yeah.
you never know what the receiving end is going through.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why we've talked about this a lot. Like sometimes it's harder than other times, but in any social instance of my life, I try and like always be like, even if it's the shittiest day, I always try and like I want to be the happiest me I can be.
Yeah.
I want to walk in and say hi to somebody and you know feel good.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, you're projecting good energy.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I feel like that has rubbed off on me.
Really?
Like I feel like you're probably the source of that for me to want to do that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because like, I could be having the worst day. And sometimes I have gone to Lifetime or like the gym or wherever I'm going and having a bad day. But like that first, I tell you this a lot. When I walk through the doors
Yes.
and the people, we go there every day. So the people
Yeah.
at the counter know us. Yo, what's going on, Josh?
Yes.
And then it's like, I instantly like give them the most energy I can.
Yeah.
And now, boom, whole
Dude.
mindset just flipped.
That energy compounds,
Yeah.
right? Because that's a good start. You hit the locker room, drop off your bag. You're like, see someone in there, like, yo, what's up, bro? How are you?
Yeah.
It's like, it's so good to see you. Just like seeing someone and saying, hey, bro, it's so good to see you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's awesome.
Or having like a quick conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like that's nice.
Yeah.
It makes it easy, but not everybody has that.
Yeah.
Most people don't. I would feel like.
Well, that's the thing where it's like growth, right?
yeah,
You can learn that. Anyone can learn that
that's a good point.
if you apply it.
yeah,
Crazy.
but it's I think a very small percentage of people apply that.
Yeah, because I was like the complete opposite. Like I mentioned in the last episode that for like years, I was the guy that goes in the gym, headphones on, don't fucking talk to anyone,
Yep.
get my shit done,
I was
get the
the same
fuck
way.
out. And it's just like the level of happiness that I have now, just overall, from being more open to more people is unfucking real.
Well, it's also like anything in life. You get these repetitions. Like you, the more you work out,
Yeah.
you start to understand form better,
Yeah.
how you should move your body.
Yeah.
Even with like social aspects, the more conversations you engage in, it's like
Yes.
practice almost.
Yes.
Like talking and even like
Yes.
things like this.
Yes.
Like you notice, and sometimes you impress yourself. You're like, okay, like you have a conversation with somebody and like,
Yeah.
wow, I can't believe
Yeah.
the way I handled that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then sometimes it's also the opposite. Sometimes you're like, fuck, I wish I said this. I wish I did that.
Well, that's also kind of another thing with mindset is that like, don't fucking beat yourself up over something that already happened. Because how is that going to help in any way?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think it's more, you should flip it into more like, okay, that happened. Mm-hmm. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
That's
Or-
kind of how you should think about it.
Or not even like in that sense to say like that happened. How could I make that better next time if it were to happen?
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I think that's a good point. Cause like, that's how I look at like every negative thing. Like I'll do something and I'll be like, okay, that didn't feel good.
Yeah.
You know, I probably shouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times that happens with music.
Interesting.
Like I'll put something out and I won't like how it sounded.
Kind of like second guess it.
Yeah. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe for the future,
Yeah.
you know, make something, put the effort into it, finish it the
Yeah.
right way, and then put it out there.
Yeah.
So you're not second guessing it. But I think second guessing is natural. I think it's like, it's going to happen no matter what.
And I think kind of like to get a little deeper on that, I feel like you're going to second guess a lot more things when you, especially when it comes to like maybe like social media, like posting something or like
Yeah.
posting music. It's like the more you consume, the more it's going to consume you.
That's a good point. That was deep.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's
but you're
why,
right, because like comparison is the thief of joy or whatever.
Yeah. Comparison is the
because
theft of
it's
joy.
like you'll see something so good, so well put together,
Mm-hmm.
so made, like so well made, after you just spent your whole day creating something.
Yeah.
And you discredit everything you just
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
because it's not at their level.
Yeah.
When meanwhile that person could have spent 15 years.
Yeah.
That ability, something that looks so
Yeah.
simple but so
Yeah. And bringing it back to like a personal level. So I've spent 5 years in the gym consistently. So then people will come into the gym on their first day, say like, the new year just passed. So like, oh, I'm gonna get a gym membership January 1st. And they come in and see me like, oh man, like fuck, like, this guy was probably like born like that or some shit like that.
Yeah, but
and it's like they don't see all the work
yeah,
that's gone into that.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
And it's easy to not see it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Everybody makes those quick assumptions because it's easy
100%.
to make it. Like
Exactly.
I think the first time I probably saw you, I was like probably has good genetics.
Yeah.
Like,
Little do they know, it's just like I was not fit at all.
right?
Up until I got my first gym membership.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And
It kind of like bothers me when people say that. Like, oh, it must be so fucking easy for you. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm just like disciplined and consistent.
Yeah, and you do that every single day, day in and day out. Like you never
Yeah.
take
it's
a break.
It's literally a lifestyle.
It literally is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've always struggled with that because I was always so skinny.
Yeah.
Or there was a period in my life where I was like a little chubby. But like I think every kid has that.
Yeah.
And then like I was just so skinny for so long. I didn't know how to fucking like
yeah.
how do you put on weight without getting fat?
Yeah.
Like there is
Yeah.
I mean it took me I put on 20 pounds
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Let's hear
and
it.
like it was I guess it wasn't super challenging because I've always been eating like the same things and being disciplined with food has always been easy for me. Just because I never saw I saw eating as like, okay, my body needs fuel. That's how I treat it.
Yeah.
Weekends are different because I really like going into restaurants and like eating different foods. But like during the week, it's more like, okay, I need to fuel my body. So all I did was just adjust that. So I was like, okay, like this is how many calories I usually burn at the gym. Let me eat, 500 more calories than that.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely, I went from like 146 to 161.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then I told you, I was like, it got to a point where I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
I'm cool where I'm at. Like I'm down to slowly put on weight from here on out. Like maybe if I get to like 165, 170 and just hang out there. But I don't want to I don't need to be the biggest guy in the world.
So you had that goal and then you achieved that goal.
Yeah, but I guess the goal never really had an end point. I never set a target weight.
Yeah.
I just kind of, the second I started to feel like, this, I'm eating too much. I feel bloated all the time. I feel like shit.
Okay.
That was when I switched back to, okay, let me just eat, like 100 more calories a day.
Yeah.
And then increase my protein and these little things. So it's like I'm building, I'm staying lean, but building muscle.
So did you ever, so when you were at that heavier point where you wanted to get to initially, did you ever take a minute to step back and damn, I'm proud of myself for getting to this point?
No, not really.
You got to do that sometimes. Man.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Because that way you can really appreciate the progress you're making.
Yeah. I guess it just, I don't want to say it felt easy, but I've always felt lately time moves so quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's just kind of like, it was at one moment I'm here and one moment I'm there.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty fast. It took me 2-3 months.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I was just like, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it all started when somebody in the gym was like, damn, man, you really got lean. You thinned out.
Yeah.
I was like,
wait a minute.
I was like, wait, I'm trying to go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was what made me go like, okay. And it was Ben, as you know.
Yeah.
And then I talked to him because he was trying to put on weight.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, what are you going to do? Like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
And then he kind of outlined it.
Yeah.
And then
he does eat a lot.
Yeah. He's also a bigger guy, though.
Yeah.
His body probably needs a little more calories than mine does. Yeah. But, yeah. You recently said you wanted to put on some...
So basically, for the past maybe couple years, 2 or 3 years, I've been really consistent right around 170 pounds.
Okay.
Only thing that would really change is body fat percentage. So I'll typically stay around the same weight, and it's basically been like a maintenance program.
Okay.
So now I'm just thinking, I stepped away from barbell exercises for a little bit just because like I tweaked my lower back once,
Yeah.
and it kind of freaked me out to like go heavy again from that. It's been like such a mental block, but it actually started when I got that lift in Annapolis with Shawty Low.
I hate using that. I wish, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
And so
It feels weird because like she has a name, but you don't. I know you. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. Respectfully.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Is that drooping?
yeah, the whole thing is.
Oh, it came off. I guess I didn't tighten it.
Yeah. Here, can you hold it here while I pull it towards me?
Yeah. Go ahead. Are you good?
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I'm just gonna fucking put a hole in the coffee table. All right, go ahead.
This coffee table was $1,000.
I'm not putting that in.
So, all right, shit.
You were talking about lifting in Annapolis with.
So, reason behind wanting to go back into getting heavier is that I got a lift in Annapolis with Shawty Low,
Right.
and like I was content. Like it was really cool, kind of lifting the weights that challenged her, because it wasn't necessarily easy for me, but I was really able to dial in on like my movement quality when I was doing that. And then it got to a point when we were doing the back squat, she's like, you got to go heavier. This is just way too easy.
Interesting.
And that was the first time I went heavy, relatively heavy again, since my injury.
Yeah.
And it felt really good.
Well, you were injured doing deadlifts, right?
Yeah.
Which is really, I feel like it's easy to. Like
Yeah.
I did those this morning.
Yeah. How'd that
And
feel?
it's good, but like I've been going up in 2.5 pound increments.
Okay.
So very slowly.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm doing 2 45 plates on the side
Solid.
and then 5 pounds on top of that. So
Okay.
2.5.
Yeah.
And then that felt good today.
Okay.
So next week I'll try putting 5 pounds on each side.
Okay.
But that's like the one injury. I don't need a back injury.
Yeah.
Because that'll fuck you up.
Well, thing is, like, from my background in like fitness industry, I understand what caused it. It was like basically like a bracing thing. So now that ever since that lift, now I've been going heavier again, like in my back squats,
Right.
and it's moving so easily.
Interesting.
It feels amazing because that whole time I took breaks off, so I was still doing like back squats, deadlifts, and all these other things,
But in different ways.
different modalities.
Right.
Meaning, so just not barbell.
So it's not like you weren't still strengthening those
Exactly,
muscles and
exactly.
that. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm honestly stronger now without doing any strength training, strength-based training, getting back into strength training.
Interesting.
So the sets I would do, like a 3 set of 8 or a 3 set of 5, would be relatively heavy for me.
Okay.
Now I'm doing that 3 sets of 8. So it's going from strength-based to hypertrophy-based, which is crazy to think about.
It's cool though that she like pushes you in that way.
Yeah,
Because I feel like that's so rare.
yeah,
Like it's nice to like have someone say like, hey, like,
yeah.
look, I know
Yeah,
you're capable.
come
of-
on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, listen, I know you're fucking nervous about hurting yourself again, but
Yeah.
like you can do more.
Yeah.
It's like, but also knowing the balance of like, don't go too far.
100%.
Because I've worked out with people who will be like, yo, like,
Yeah.
we don't care about form, we don't care about this.
Oh
The
my
only thing that
God.
matters is
The weight.
The weight,
Yup.
right? And
That's
some people
dangerous.
are like that.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like it feels so counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would I like? Can I lift probably 3 plates?
Yeah.
And do a deadlift?
Yeah.
Yeah, but is my form gonna be wrong? It's gonna hurt, and I might hurt myself.
The thing is, it's like, what will you get out of that? That's why
Nothing.
That's
Like
why,
I'm not in a bodybuilder. I just work out to feel good.
exactly.
That's the end
I
goal.
want to be in here tomorrow, and if I get
Exactly.
fucking injured, that's gonna suck.
Well, I might have said it earlier in this episode, but you ever heard of the YouTuber Matt Diavella?
You'd mentioned him, yeah.
Yeah. Like sometimes it sounds so stupid, but in the mornings,
Is he Asian guy?
no, he's just white with brown hair.
Okay.
Yeah. But he makes like self-help videos, and like I probably watched all of his videos, and I like his advice. But I recently watched one where he interviewed somebody who was talking about like the science behind recovery and like burnout.
Okay.
Because in the beginning of like all the music stuff, I was so like down to burn out. Like I was down to push my body to its limits and really just go as hard as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And then like as I've gone through that, I've realized that it's so counterintuitive to growth because
100%.
basically the whole interview was about like, it was almost like a podcast basically. They were talking about how you need to put your body through something today with the capability that your body can recover from it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the gym and you max out on everything, you go in the sauna for way too long, you really just kill yourself.
Compounds.
And you wake up the next morning with body aches and a headache, and you don't want to go to the gym the next day.
Compounds,
It's so counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Because you felt great finishing that crazy workout.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I've been I'm not against burnout. Like I understand that at times of the week, I need to put in a little more effort than others. I can let off the gas and like balance it. But it just seems so stupid to be like, let me kill myself for what?
Yeah.
You know, like go.
Yeah.
But I think everybody has to pay their dues.
Yeah.
Like in any career, any
business
you
have
start,
to put the work in.
Yeah, it's not going to be
100%.
easy in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it was almost 2 years for me of just abuse.
I mean, just think about the podcast. We've been creating all day.
Yeah, we started at
12? 1?
But that's different because we like. But then again, it's kind of the same. Like we had an issue and we could have fucking let it ride.
Yeah.
We were like, no, we
addressed it right away.
We got to fix it.
Yeah, I think we learned about each other in that moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was refreshing.
Yeah.
Because there was part of me who was like, yo, let's just release it. Let's just put it up.
Yeah.
And then you were like, And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I was like, we have nothing but time.
Exactly.
Who the fuck, you know?
Why the fuck not?
So let's go fix it.
Yo.
And that was refreshing.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that's refreshing. And that kind of sucks that it has to be refreshing.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I've always been really appreciative when you have people in your life that you like, you share very common interests and mindsets because it's like, it's so hard to come by.
It's fucking rare.
Yeah. Like a lot of the guys I know in music are like that. And a lot of my friends here are like that as well. But like you really you want to rely on somebody. You want somebody who's going to, when they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it.
Get it.
It's nice to have.
Yeah. Those are the type of people that I strive to surround myself with.
Yeah. Because by surrounding yourself with those people, you also become one of those people. Like this sounds so minuscule and small, but the other day I ordered all that stuff on Amazon.
Yes.
And for the mic stands and whatever for this podcast. And I texted you the amount and you paid me within 30 seconds.
Absolutely.
So today, when you picked up the bill on all this audio equipment, I was driving back in the car and it hit my head. I was like, well, James was so quick with it. I was like, I'll take my phone out and I'm paying back right now.
Nice. I like
before
that.
I forget about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
you
know.
Because if you don't do it in the moment, shit slips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's like tomorrow. And then next thing you know, you text me, you're like, I don't want to do this shit anymore.
So no, all right. So bringing this all the way back to what we were talking about, this is about mindfuck you, bro.
Okay.
So remember just like thinking about putting shit off, right?
Right.
So you talked about how it's sometimes uncomfortable to like approach a girl at the gym. Camera window. Fuck.
Nice. No, that's good. Keep talking. We got the other end.
So it goes back to, talking to a girl at the gym and it might be uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And you'll say, I mean, this is what I've said. I don't know if you think this. Like, okay, I'll say what's up to her next time. Like
all the time. I've told you this because there's a couple girls at the gym that, like, you have those small interactions with them. Like, hey, are you almost finished? Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You guys look at each other, you wave, you say hi, but you never like meet.
Yeah. So
it's always like next
time. Bringing it back to chase that uncomfortable feeling, embrace that shit, and just fucking do it in the moment when it's fresh in your head.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good point.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, it's weird though, because I apply that to like almost every part of my life.
Yeah.
I'm very like this, it's like, I'll finish eating dinner and like brushing my teeth, washing my face. Like I start to get tired and I don't want to like do it.
Yeah.
So right when I finish dinner, I'll do it. And it's like getting that shit out of the way.
Yeah.
And then you like, the moment you do it, you're like, whew,
yeah.
Like, oh, I can just chill. I can relax.
Imagine how good that feeling is after, like, say you talk to someone at the gym that you're attracted to.
Right.
It's like you feel like you're fucking Superman.
Yeah, that's a good point. And doing it in a way where you're not like everybody else.
Exactly.
Like we talked about this. I think we talked about this earlier. It might have been the part that, will never be seen. But
Yeah.
but like being more comfortable with when you walk up to somebody, like there doesn't have to be an end goal. Like we said earlier, like sometimes as a guy, the generic end goal is I need to get this girl's number. Maybe you want to sleep with her, maybe you want to do these things, but it's like, why not just walk up to her, say hi, maybe say your name, and hey, I'll see you around.
Exactly.
And then you walk away. No phone number, no nothing, just like establish that base connection.
Yeah.
Because that's what you and I did at the gym.
Yeah.
Everybody we know at the gym, that's how everyone meets.
Yeah.
You like, every time you see each other, you're like, oh, hey, hey. And then it gets to a point where you're like, okay, like, you have that 20-minute conversation.
Exactly.
And you realize, oh, this person's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's also just like social norms. Like society, social media wants you to think that. Like you can't just say hi to a girl without wanting to fuck her.
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you said that earlier. Imagine the pressure on the opposite end.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like, for her, she's probably so like anxious when a guy comes up to her. Because it's like, what are his intentions? Like, why is he coming up to me?
Yeah.
And it could be extremely refreshing when they just have a conversation and go the fuck away.
Yeah.
Like, let me finish my workout. you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for that. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not here to, it's not Tinder. It's the gym.
Exactly.
So it's.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, being friendly. Right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's always just been difficult with girls. Because I think there is that in the back of your mind. It's like.
Oh, it's in the back of everyone's mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's just like humans.
Yeah.
It's like
you gotta run towards it.
The reproductive thought, like that's always probably going to be an anxiety inducing.
Because I remember going through that like all the time.
Yeah.
I would always think, oh, fuck. And they're like, nah. So just like focus on yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like you can focus on yourself, but also just create new connections.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And not every connection, we said this in the last episode, not every connection has to be, we're best friends.
Yeah.
Or we date, or we get together, or we become this. It's like, you might meet a girl at the gym and say hi for a couple weeks, and then that's it. That's all it ever is.
Yeah.
And it's like, but there was something I said at the sauna one time. We're thinking small because we're talking about just the gym. So I meet a girl at the gym. Chances are she has a membership. Chances are she's going to be there at the same time 3 to 5 days a week, right? So you see that person regularly. Like we see the people at the gym that we know more than we probably see most people in our lives.
Yeah.
Which is weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see this girl all the time. So it's easy to make that base connection and then continue.
Exactly.
But what if you meet a girl at the bar?
Oof.
Then how do you...
that is not my strong point.
No, but like seriously, how do you... Like how do you fucking... You have to get some form of communication.
Yeah.
So then you have to ask them for their number.
When it's appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah, but is it I don't know. Because how many other guys that night played the same game?
Exactly.
It's so interesting.
That is very interesting.
Like sometimes I almost feel like a nuisance.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. That's why I feel like having somewhere. So, all right. So say you're like a regular at a bar. It would be so much easier to talk to girls. Like, oh yeah, I'm here all the time. This is my first time seeing you around here.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm sure like a girl that you would like at the gym, the easiest thing you could say is, hey, I see you in here all the time. My name's Josh.
Wow. That's a very good point.
Because like if you're there every single day of the week, it's like...
Because it's funny because when I met, I guess I could say his name, Jordan.
Yes.
That was the first thing he said to me.
Yeah.
You were like, hey, Jordan, this is Josh.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I see you in here all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I see you every day too.
Exactly.
And then when I met the girl,
Yeah.
she said the same thing. She was like, yeah, I see you every day.
Exactly.
And I was like, yeah, I see you all the time.
So that connection's already there. You just have to...
like we're both thinking the same thing.
Exactly.
We're here at the same time almost every day.
And just saying that is just acknowledging a fact.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But real quick, shout out to that boy Jay Stells. Oh man.
He asked for that.
Yeah.
Good guy. But that's a
Yeah.
good point. It's just something that simple. And it's probably so refreshing on the other end
Yeah.
to just make that connection and be like, okay,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well, maybe one of these fucking days I'll actually do it.
Dude, I'm just think about this podcast, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, no pressure. But I feel like, honestly, too, if you put pressure on yourself to do something, like, all right, today I'm going to do this, it's not going to be fun.
I think it has to be kind of a spur of the moment thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like, and sometimes those spur of the moment things can backfire so hard. This is kind of funny. I was in the elevator in my building,
Yes.
this building, and like, I had just been coming home from the gym. I was beat, exhausted, and a girl walks into the elevator, and like, I wanted to strike up a conversation in spur of the moment,
But you felt uncomfortable.
not uncomfortable, but like, I didn't know I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I was like, do I talk about the weather? Like,
That's
what the
being
fuck?
uncomfortable.
Yeah. So I just like quickly glanced at her, and she glanced at me, and it made things a billion times more uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Because after we looked at each other and like locked eyes,
Uh-huh.
I didn't fucking say anything.
How did that make you feel when you locked eyes?
It made me realize that next time somebody gets in the elevator, think of something. Like, start some sort of conversation.
So you felt you ended up in an uncomfortable situation
It felt awkward.
and you went inside instead of pursuing
Instead of saying something.
Yeah.
Instead of just whatever the fuck was on my mind.
it. Hey, my name's Josh. I live here.
Yeah, something like that. Just moved in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how
Could
you
be
would
as
do
simple
it,
as
how,
that.
how you would do it to
Or you
anyone
could
else
literally be
that's
like-
not a pretty girl.
Like, hey, how's it going?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like
It's-
in the elevator today, you're like two chicks walked in.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what floor are you going on? What floor are you going on? Just like that's the easiest way to start a
Yeah.
conversation.
And
in
make
the elevator.
people feel like, okay,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you're doing them a favor.
that's a good point. Elevators are, it's always so awkward though, because
Yeah.
it's such a finite amount of time between floor and floor.
Time's ticking.
So it's like, okay.
You have fast elevators too.
Yeah. So it's
Uh-huh.
like, because I started the conversation with somebody the other day, and like the fucking elevator reached my floor, and like,
Yeah.
we were still talking, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, bye. And then it just
Yeah.
closed.
That could be good practice, actually.
That is good because it gives it a start and an end.
So no, honestly, like if you were to actually apply this and be like, okay, every time I'm in the elevator, I'm gonna say hi to whoever's in there. I feel like that would be an excellent way to practice.
Get those reps in.
100%.
Yeah. Have you ever read the book 4 Hour Work Week?
I have not, but you've mentioned it a few times.
Yeah, you should read it. Not like for the sake of like working a 4 hour work week, because that would drive me nuts. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know what to do with the rest of my day.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he had one chapter where he talked about this whole like thing we're talking about, like the uncomfortable side of first interactions and talking to
Oh,
people.
wow, interesting. Yeah, definitely have to read
And
it.
he said, especially when it comes to girls, just fucking talk to everybody.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
conversations left and right.
Because you never know.
Right. But not even that, but he was like, no matter what they say, if they want you to leave them alone, if they like they give you a dirty look, or maybe they're super friendly,
Yeah.
every time you do it, it becomes less
Yeah.
and less like and until the point where you're 35 conversations in, you're like, this shit is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of that.
Yeah.
And it's fucking great.
I think I'm like in a similar sense to you where I'm starting to become very comfortable with just conversation in general.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy talking to random people.
Yeah.
Like I think there's so much you can get from it.
Yeah. You
And-
give something and you also get something.
Right. And so it's like that'll slowly, I think, transition into everything.
Yeah.
And like the weird thing is, like I said earlier, like I have no trouble talking to, like, it's not like I see a girl and I fucking curl up. It's just the second your brain thinks that
Yeah.
I'm attracted to this person,
Yes.
it makes things
Yes.
difficult.
Because that's how you were conditioned to think. Like,
Right.
okay, I think she's attractive. I need to find a way to get in a relationship with her.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't fuck this up. And then you think of something, you
gonna
say
look,
something.
You're gonna look so stupid if you mess this up.
Yeah.
That shit's not real.
and then you say something stupid and you're just
yeah,
like,
you just overthink it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that reminds me of like something that stuck with me. I think it was like this past summer. I hit the gym and I didn't have any pre-workout, so I went to the cafe to get like a pre-workout drink.
they have those?
Yeah, like energy drink kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
the
Like in
cans.
that fridge.
Yes, in a can.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sitting at one of like the tables in there, drinking the energy drink before I go upstairs, and it's like carbonated. So I'm like there because I don't want to like chug that.
Yeah, because then
you're
you're
uncomfortable.
burping the whole workout.
Yep. And then this lady comes up to me. She was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I think you're really attractive, and I hope you have a really good day."
Really?
And I was like, And this was this is when I didn't really talk to too many people in there. And this was just some random person. And what she said after that was, you know, everyone likes a good compliment.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And that shit made my day.
Well, you probably felt like the fucking man that whole workout.
I was like, wow. I was like, thank you so much.
Was she coming in or going out?
She actually works there.
I'm trying to think.
But yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that made me feel really good.
What did you say?
I was like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
And that was it. She just walked away.
She walked away. She was like,
Wow.
yeah. She said, yeah, you know, everyone likes a good compliment. So I figured, why not just say it?
Huh.
And that kind of stuck with me.
That's so, because that comes back to what we were saying earlier. Is like, say something, introduce, leave.
Exactly.
And that's like, I feel like that's so powerful.
It was insane.
Wow.
She probably felt good saying that.
Yeah.
I felt good receiving a compliment.
Did you guys ever have a conversation again?
I'll say hi, like wave hi to her if I see her
Okay.
when I'm there.
Huh.
Yeah.
But were you attracted to her?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it was like anything sexual. Like
Well, it doesn't always have to be sexual, but
That's another thing too, right?
yeah.
Because like from a guy wanting to approach a girl, you always kind of turn it into like, oh, fuck, she's gonna think like trying to.
Ah, that's a good point.
So I feel like she came from a place of just like approaching in a potentially uncomfortable situation, just saying what she
Saying,
thinks.
like we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
That's a good point. It's there's this another YouTube channel. You've probably seen them. They've like always on the charts. Yes Theory.
Yes Theory. Sounds familiar.
You should look them up when you get
Yeah.
home. But their whole slogan is seek discomfort.
Ooh.
Just say yes.
Yeah.
If like, yo, you want to go to fucking LA this week?
Yeah.
Sure. Like if
Yeah.
you have the means to do it and you can do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like saying yes. And I always try and embody that thought when I'm doing things.
That's-
And you know that.
That's dangerous.
No, but like, because how many times have you not wanted you don't have the energy to do something, you don't really want to do something, you say yes to a plan, and then you're like, fuck it, I'll just go. And it ends up being a fantastic time. Like, you're so happy you did it.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn.
I feel like I'm at a point where I'm very strategic with where and who I will spend my free time with. That like that's very like I know exactly what I'm getting into.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying you say yes to like every stranger that asks you, do you want to hang out?
Bro, that is totally you.
Yeah, I know, but but like, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I meant more like when my friends ask me to do shit.
Just say yeah.
Yeah,
I can
let's do it. Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah.
You want to go to Philadelphia this weekend? Fuck it. Why
You
not?
did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know.
And how you mentioned in the last
You don't want to be the guy who only says no. Nobody likes that guy.
because what you said in the last episode, they stop asking.
They stop asking.
Oof, that hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then, and I've stopped asking people.
Yeah,
If I ask
yeah.
somebody so many times, you want to do something,
Yeah.
and they don't answer or they don't
Yeah.
tell you yes, it's not like I like have any hard feelings.
Yeah.
It's just like my brain eventually
Yeah.
goes, just no, like it's
Yeah.
just not a thought anymore.
Yeah. I felt like I spent a lot of time being that guy. That'd be like, no, I'm good. And now I'm like, still like very strategic of like what I want to do. but,
Don't
like,
get me wrong, time is valuable.
Yeah,
And you got to
yeah.
put your time and energy in the right
Exactly.
places.
Yeah. Because like when I commit to something or like commit to doing something or commit to seeing someone, I'm going to give that person or that situation everything I got.
Right.
Like I don't want to be like that person that's there, but like you mentioned one of your buddies, like he's always like on his phone when you guys go out or something like that.
Yeah, some of them. There's
And-
a handful of people who are like
Well,
that.
wasn't there one guy's like he's like there, but he's not even there? You were saying
I'm trying to think.
maybe it was like a guy betting or something. Like there was like I think it was like during the World Cup, and then he was like constantly on his phone.
I can't remember.
Anyways, but I want to be like fully present, so I want to be able to give that
Right.
every time I'm out and about. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
because it's like, I'm here. It's the same thing we talked about last episode. Like, anything I show up and do, I'm going to probably give it my all.
Yeah,
Because it's like, why not? I'm
Yeah.
fucking here.
yeah,
I'm at the gym. I'm going to work out hard. I'm
Yeah.
at this desk. I'm going to make the best possible beat I can.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Dude, just having that fire in you, you know what I mean? Like that
yeah,
fire, that feeling. It's just like,
yeah.
oh man.
But some days you don't want to give it all.
Oh, dude, it takes the the dark days, the rainy days, to realize what a good day is.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
In the sense of actual physical weather.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like, well, that's like a metaphor almost.
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah.
like, it's cloudy and rainy for 3 days straight. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible. And then
Yeah.
that one day, it's 70 degrees and sunny. You put all your windows down, you drive somewhere.
You're ready.
And you have the biggest smile on your face.
Yeah.
And it's like, you wouldn't have had that super happy moment if those 3 days weren't shitty.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like
facts.
you have to sometimes go through the deep holes.
Yeah.
But you gotta go to the bathroom.
Is that cool?
Yeah, why don't you just say it? All right, we are back. Quick little intermission bathroom break.
Yes.
I was thinking about something while I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever thought about, I guess you're kind of in the process of it, but thinking further down the road, have you ever thought about just completely doing something else with your whole life?
That's actually kind of what
That's what you're doing, right?
I'm doing.
Yeah. So I guess that was a bad question.
No, but that's a good topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, probably get into that down the road as this podcast progresses.
I think that's fair.
But let's get into identity.
Oh God.
So
I'm gonna need you to start on this one.
oh, absolutely.
Cool.
So for the past 5 years of my life, I've identified as someone working in the fitness industry,
Right.
like a fitness trainer, fitness coach.
Yep.
Someone like that is who I am. And people love to put like labels on themselves, right?
Yeah. Or when someone asks, "What do you do?" You have to have an answer.
Yeah. So as I'm like transitioning to like the next thing that I found a lot of passion in, it's hard to kind of, I don't even know the word, disassociate from being a trainer. Right? So I've been trying to transition to, if I had to put a title on it, like an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Just like broaden the thing.
Yeah.
Like instead of like having that label. And
Right.
it's terrifying, to be honest.
Like to change your identity, I guess.
100%.
Yeah, because I've thought about a similar thing. I mean, I've told you I only struggle with what to tell people when they ask what I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't like saying I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
Because that's not really what I am.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a
That's a
I'm
label.
a music producer. I
Yeah.
create.
Yeah.
But when I tell somebody that, they just don't understand.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell me about it, bro.
So it's like I always have resulted to, especially when talking to people who are older. Hey, what do you do? I own a business. It's just easy. They don't ask any more questions. They just
Yeah.
they leave it. Oh, I'm a music producer. It's like, oh fuck,
Yeah. But
this kid.
I mean, so I feel like from what you've told me about your experiences with that, I feel like you think society has almost a negative connotation to
Yeah.
being a music producer.
But lately, I've been like fully embracing it.
Yes.
Every time somebody asks me what I do, I
love it.
I make music.
Yeah. 'Cause that's facts.
Just because also I think like, I don't know, it makes you more interesting.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have this talent and ability that I'm not saying I'm special, but I've put a lot of time into honing it and being a creative person.
I mean, that is special.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's more like when someone asks what you do, it's like I feel proud to say that. This is what the fuck I am. And whatever you think
Yeah.
when I say that,
Yeah.
whatever thought goes through your head, you're broke, you're poor, you live in your mom's basement.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Dude, you need to you need to think better about that. Oh my God.
No, but I have had situations where I tell somebody that and the door opens up for so much curiosity. Like they're like so intrigued.
Yeah.
And I love that because I love talking about it. And they'll ask
Yeah.
you like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
oh, what kind of music? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
explain
That's
it to
cool.
me. And
Yeah.
then it's so much cooler than, oh, business owner. It's
Yeah.
boring, you know?
But I feel like it also depends on the context too. Right?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Like if it's someone that you kind of already know, or like someone that you know of at least,
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be more open to kind of just diving in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess for me though, it's like more of like trying to let go of the fact that whatever I tell these people I do, not giving a fuck what they think about it.
Yeah, fuck.
Like not thinking about the financial side or anything related to that.
Yeah.
Just saying this is what I do every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I guess in hindsight, I am an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
With
100% you are.
The
Yeah.
music library, the
Yes.
clothing, the podcast, like all these things. But then
Yes.
like at the core of all that, the thing that keeps the wheel rolling is music.
Yeah.
And that without that, none of that other stuff
Yeah.
would happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, working on telling people that.
Yeah.
Because I get what you're saying. I thought it so many times about like quitting in a sense where like I'll go through like this really dry period where it's like it feels like the whole world's coming in on you. You can't create anything. You're like really uninspired. And like it's just like, okay, I got to come up with something else. I got to go new career.
Yeah.
And then like you obviously you overthink it and then you return to a normal state.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one thing I found that solves that, at least as a creative, is being really involved in other creative outlets.
Like a podcast.
A podcast. I love like the video work.
Yeah.
That is why I like to make those Instagram videos.
Oh, those are
make
dope.
things look really clean and like
Yeah.
make people feel something with the video.
Yeah.
That shit is so fun to me. Like
Yeah.
when my friends ask like, "Do you want to help me shoot this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want any money. I just want to
Yeah.
do this creatively." And there's
Yeah.
because the second it's nice to have those things aside from monetary gain.
Yeah.
Because when I shoot a video, I'm shooting it solely for the purpose of creativity.
Yeah.
The second you pay me for it is the
Yeah.
second things get confusing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with music is like, I've heard a lot of producers say that they always wish that they could detach their income from their creativity.
Wow.
Like, I wish I could just have a bunch of real estate properties.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds so unrealistic.
No, dude,
but like you have all
yeah.
this passive income
Uh-huh.
and I just wake up and make beats. And I'm not making beats to please anybody or make money or pay my bills. I'm making beats for the sole purpose of just creating.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I think you can get that fix by painting, doing video work, having conversations like this. And it makes the burden of trying to pay bills and like create with, your music a lot easier.
Yeah, I think context to that is just pressure.
That's a good way to put it. I
There's
think
a
that was
lot
the
of
word I was looking
pressure.
for. Yeah.
Because I've felt that. Like when I went independent for my personal training business, I remember putting out content. Like I had my own page for my business.
Yeah, you told me that.
And it was so much pressure to like, all right, how am I going to get people to want to shoot me a DM and want to train with me?
Yeah.
And it almost made me not want to do it at all.
That's almost the thing I feel on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you love the interactions,
Yeah.
but there is pressure to keep the interactions coming.
And this is wild because now that I'm transitioning away from training, it's like I basically like the page that I have now is content just for fun.
It's a creative outlet.
Creative outlet.
Right.
And it's so much fun.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important.
100%.
Because, like, I don't know. It just makes things easier. I think you have to just explore other things. You can't just do one thing. It's just,
Well, I mean,
you burn out. You get tired of it. You get annoyed.
yes and no, I could say, but honestly, like mindset is everything in that context.
It's true.
Because if you were to just think about or not think about the monetary side of just like creating to create,
It'd be almost irresponsible, right?
I was going the complete opposite
Oh,
direction.
I think we're thinking different things.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, say what you're saying.
So I was thinking if you're going to create something, say like a fire beat, not because you want to make like a lot of money from it, but just because that's like your passion and like that's what your drive is.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to get a lot more success doing that.
Oh, 100% agree.
Yeah.
But I feel there was a point in like my career, I guess you could call it, where I only paid attention to the metrics because I wasn't exploring any other creative outlets. But the second I got a new camera, I was like, okay, this is cool. The second I kind of like started trying to print my own clothes.
Yeah.
Second, I started learning Photoshop and how to design things and like drawing in Photoshop.
Yeah.
And like just making art elsewhere
Yeah.
was the second I started making music again for the purpose of making music.
Wow.
Like, I would say for the better part of the last 4 months, every time I wake up and make something, I don't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
Like, the way I package it and put it out, that's different because you have to be somewhat smart because I want people to hear it.
Yeah.
If I can put this type of artwork with this type of cover and title and all this and more people hear it, then that's a win. But the creative aspect, it's so free.
Yeah.
And I think that's solely because I'm exploring other creative outlets.
Yeah.
Because my brain is like
Yeah.
so stimulated with, and it also feels like you're not like all your eggs aren't in one basket.
Yes.
Like I can do all this other shit
Yes.
if I need to do it and I
Yes.
enjoy it.
Dude, I can relate 100%.
Keep going.
So, like, since getting back, like, on social media, I got back on January 1st.
Okay.
And just having that as a creative outlet, it's like, so a couple things I try to do on that is I try to document all of my lifts, like, even if it's not like a video of it, of just like showing that I'm there, breaking down each workout, like in a post or like a story.
Yeah.
And then something that I also try to do, I try to put like some sort of motivational affirmation sort of thing tacked onto that. So it's like, my biggest thing with that is like, I don't expect to like make any money from like Instagram or anything.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised by like how many people like, damn dude, like I needed to see this today. Like this shit just made my day.
Right.
And it's just like connecting with people, like inspiring people.
Yeah.
In like a cost-free way.
It's so nice.
It's incredible.
It feels amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I've seen with those Instagram videos I make. Because the whole idea is my music is very relaxing.
Yeah.
So how do I
Super
make
chill.
my studio I feel like is pretty relaxing.
Oh, dude, I'm about to fucking fall asleep.
So it's like the whole idea is like, okay, let's pair the two together and use, really nice equipment to capture the cleanest video I can.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say like, yo, sometimes those, 90-second videos are just, it's like a moment of clarity and meditation.
Yeah.
Cause that's how I feel when I'm creating it.
Yeah.
So
Breath
it's like,
of fresh air.
it's like translates to it.
Yeah.
Because it's made with authenticity.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah.
And that's like, it sets you apart too.
Yeah.
It leads the pack.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day, and it was like, so it's 4 words, and it's something that I've been trying to like live by.
Okay.
Or something that I feel like I have been living by, and this kind of put it into words. So it was like, expect nothing, appreciate everything.
Huh. Yeah.
So that goes into like complimenting someone, or just like sparking up a conversation.
Yeah, don't expect anything in return.
Yeah, and
Just fucking do
appreciate
it.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like showing love to somebody.
Exactly.
Reposting their thing.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to like
Exactly.
repost the next thing I post. I just want to do it because I want to do it.
Yeah, it's fucking fire, man.
That's a good point. My dad always told me that.
Yeah.
He would always say that if you expect things, you're always gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
Always. And he has a point.
Yeah.
Because like you expect somebody to fix an issue you have, and then now your bar is here, and the only thing above that bar is solution.
Yeah.
But when the solution doesn't happen,
Yeah.
you're upset, you're angry, you're frustrated.
Yeah. Because you had expectations.
Right.
And I feel like that can also, like how you bring it back to talking to new people. Like if you don't expect anything from the conversation, how could it ever go wrong?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't expect to go on a date. I don't expect to get your phone number.
Exactly.
I don't expect you to even talk to me.
Yeah. So if and when that were to happen, it makes it so much better.
That's such a good point.
Yeah. And that's how I've been trying to live.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like just having that open mindset just attracts shit to you.
Yeah, I think you said this one time when we went on a hike. You being a happy and light person is very attractive because people notice it when they talk to you. They notice it when they interact with you, and
Yeah.
it boosts their mood.
Yeah.
And they immediately think, I want to be around this person more.
Exactly.
It's the same reason why you meet some people in your life and you're like, oh, I want to be fucking friends with this person.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause this person's so
Yeah.
fun to be around.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, that is kind of how I like to leave the house.
That's awesome.
Like, let me be the best guy I can be.
Yeah.
And some days are really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Some days I'm at the gym and I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I'm like, leave me alone.
You don't have to. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some days I don't, but I always think back to that, like that conversation. And I'm like, you know what? Like,
that's dope.
You got to be, let me just try and be the best Josh.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but.
Hell yeah. Nothing in life is perfect, man.
Nah.
And that's where I feel like I used to struggle a lot too. And I still do.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. That's part of life. Mm-hmm. That is life. Like, and another thing, like bringing it back to social media, like 90% of the shit you see on there, it's not fucking real.
Do you know how many times it takes me to get the right shot?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To make you feel what I'm trying to portray.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of like, okay, let's put the camera here, flip on this light, let me walk this way.
Yeah.
It takes a couple hours.
Yeah.
To like really get my thought process across.
Yeah.
And almost try and make it perfect.
Yeah.
Because you can do that. And I guess you could say that's ingenuine, but it's also like I'm trying to convey a certain message.
That's a creative outlet.
Right.
That's you.
But that proves your point where the shit you see on Instagram, there's a lot of fine tuning. There's a lot of things that go on in the background.
100%.
I get to try again and again and again until I nail it.
Yeah.
And then you get to see that.
Yeah. It's like, what'd you do today? Oh, I created a reel.
Right.
Like that shit takes
like,
a lot. Like just editing alone is a lot.
That's why I sometimes I make fun of them, but like people who are famous on TikTok and things like that, as I've explored more video and creativity with that, I have a little bit more respect for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this shit is not easy. Yeah. Especially to put yourself out there.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You're showing where you live, you're showing what you do, you're showing how you look and what you make.
Yeah.
It makes you very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like,
but on that, I feel like especially what kind of drives me to have a podcast is people crave that.
Yeah, because so many people don't do it.
Well, let's talk about that. So let's talk about how, our today's day and age, everyone's on their phone, right?
Yeah.
People have less and less.
That just made you sound so old.
But it's facts though, right?
Yes.
So everyone's on their phone. Bro, you were giving me shit for trying to use Apple Pay earlier today. Get the fuck out of here.
I just like using cards, man.
So everyone's on the phone. People have less like real life friends. So people have less conversations with people.
Yeah.
Like less like meaningful conversations with like, shit that makes sense. Like shit that really connects to them.
Explore all the fucking rabbit holes in your brain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why podcasts are so good, especially when you have two people that have good chemistry together, because they're pretty much in the conversation with you. So they're getting so much out of that, even if they don't connect with exactly, like, so for you and me, if they don't connect to what we're saying exactly, this is a very good, like, I feel like we have very good chemistry when we speak to each other. And people really crave that, I feel.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're in the conversation, like you said.
100%.
And that's the whole reason why, because I live alone, when I'm cooking, I'm fucking boring.
Yeah.
So let me put on a podcast.
Exactly.
And I immediately feel this huge sense of relief.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
it's like a sense of well-being.
I'm with the guys. Like,
exactly. Yeah. And like, you're like chiming in. And it's just like,
you're like, oh, that's funny. Because I notice I do that. Like,
100%.
Sometimes they'll say something in a podcast and I'll be like, yeah man.
Dude, yes. Like, just talk about random shit and it'll relate to someone.
That's so interesting. It makes sense though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. It's so interesting, like, how people enjoy long form podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, it always blows my mind that people like to listen to a 2-hour conversation.
I think that's from what I just said.
Yeah. And it's weird.
People lack that
in
real life.
Because for me, it's very hard to sit still sometimes.
Yeah.
But I can sit still and listen to a whole podcast.
Yeah.
And it's so weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because you're engaged.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you might not feel physically engaged, but mentally, you're there. You're in the conversation with them. But some podcasts don't do that for me.
Yeah.
You have to find the right one, the right people.
Yeah.
That's super important.
Yeah. So as this progresses, like, people are going to start to pick up a lot of shit about us.
Yeah.
It's interesting, right?
I had this thought the other day. It comes back to like vulnerability. You are putting your everything out there.
Yeah.
Like our personal lives are now.
This is literally like an intimate conversation
Yeah.
that anyone can listen to.
This is a conversation we would have in the parking lot of the gym
Yeah.
before we go home.
Yeah.
And it's like part of that is very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've become more comfortable with it as of late just because I've been doing it for so long.
That's fact. You have experience.
Right.
Yeah.
But not even with podcasting, but I used to be the guy who, when I first had any success in music and people were following me and tracking my journey, I didn't even like to post pictures. I was very like sheltered. I was very anxious about it.
Kind of like the guy behind eeryskies.
Right. I didn't want anybody to know. I mean, I told you earlier, none of my friends knew aside from like my very close inner circle.
Yeah.
I didn't follow anybody. I had new Instagrams, knew everything.
Yeah.
And then like it hit a point where people started to figure it out. People started to know. And then as I grew, I became more comfortable with putting myself out there. Because one of my good friends, his name's Bailey Daniel, he always says how like the music alone is a very vulnerable side of yourself.
Yeah.
Because when I'm creating that music, it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm expressing myself. But it's one thing to then again show an insight into my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
Like
Every aspect.
every aspect.
Yeah.
Even down to those like posting pictures and reels and like, but I've become so comfortable with it because like for me it's very battery, but we're good. We'll just
Keep going?
yeah, we got that one. Okay. We'll wrap it up here in a minute.
Yeah.
But becoming very comfortable with being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm just like, I'm not doing anything that's, going against who I am, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's going to like these podcasts. Not everyone's going to like the things we talk about. Not everyone's going to be happy with how we say certain things.
Yeah.
But I can't please everybody.
Exactly.
And
that's what makes it unique.
Right. Yeah. And the same with music. Like, I don't aim to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
I aim to make myself happy.
Yeah.
And if it makes 200 people happy or 3 million, that's it. That's a win. So we are it says 2 hours, but it hasn't been 2 hours. I was just looking at it. I was like, huh.
I think it's been like 40 minutes.
Yeah, but we also have the 40 minutes from earlier. What do you think?
I think this is good for right now.
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, got it.
For the second time today.
Yeah, that was good, man.
Yeah, that was episode 2.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be we'll shoot in 2 weeks, but we'll be back next week.
Yeah, let's go. That was great.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Adios.